I guess I'm just going to stick with medieval for now, even though we've decided it's a rogue. Fantasy rogue. Come on. Oh. My microphone stand isn't going to last me very long. Ooh. Well. That's what I get for getting a cheap one. Alright, we are going to wait a little bit. We're going to finish up the, hopefully finish up. I don't know how far we're going to end up getting with the rogue today. But we're going to continue him. In his stolen gambeson here. Because this is the one fancy thing that'll be on our rogue. Hide that. Then I'll start doing some details on it, I think. I'm trying to decide what I want to do for it. Looks off to the side at gambeson references that no one else can see because I still have it on the screen. Yeah, sorry about the late announcement. I have a feeling we're going to see more of that because of scheduling. Maybe not from me. I'll probably have it maybe one more time. I had a jury duty summons, but it was going to be like a really long thing, so I had to reschedule. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of people going to jury duty. No! Okay. Oh yeah, our problem from last time was our gambeson was really tight around his butt. Forgot about that. It wasn't just a gambeson, it was a booty gambeson. Because today we'll work a little bit on the details for the gambeson, and then we'll continue on with the rest of it, because we did do shoes last time, we have the pants, and then we just need to keep working on the gambeson here. I might chop up the gambeson. We'll see how I feel about it. We'll see how it's draping. But we'll wait a couple more minutes just because, oh, I should tell Twitter, I guess, too. Copy. Oh my god. Thank you, robot. Alright. Oh, that's what I need to check. I need to make sure that Twitch can actually chat in the chat. And thank you, Twitch, for telling me that my audio's on. Stream manager, making sure people can actually chat. Okay. close that. Close that. All right. I didn't make a thumbnail for this previous one. Whoops. All right. I might chop this up my gambeson. But we're going to see, cuz we love the booty, but we don't want we don't love it that much. Hello everybody. We're going to give it 4 more minutes, and then we'll kind of start back up again. Now, I'll do my introduction, but in all of the descriptions and in all of the, for Twitch and for YouTube, we have all the links. So I'm just going to reference the links that are in the description box, and also in the description box is all of my computer stats. For YouTube, at least. I can't make that a default on Twitch, but I'll remind everyone that that's there. Yeah, I might. I mean, it's nice. Ooh, awesome. Hey, I'm gonna put you in timeout, bud. I'm like, I'm waiting to show. I'm waiting for the 3 more minutes. We have 3 more minutes. Even less because it'll be a 30-second lag between what I say and what you guys see. Because I have a couple ideas for the like changing it up, because we had a little bit of the challenge with the gambeson, so, and how it was fitting. So we have a couple of options. I want this one to be a new tab. Thank you. Because we're going to basically try to finish up the gambeson at least, and then hopefully start working on some accessories and putting it together. We'll see how far we can get, because I did want to give the gambeson at least some character, having it be like patched up, and so I'd like to do some effects for that we don't normally do during these streams. So we will see. And make sure to pull up the Discord. Medieval 2. I just need to basically change all these halfway through. We're like, well, what are we going to make today? Because I sure didn't decide. Because we've got our stolen gambeson, and then we may or may not want to cloak, because like maybe he just doesn't have his cloak on during this time. We also need to put his shoes on him. So we'll see. And I'm going to go ahead and start because it's a 30-second lag. So welcome back to the stream, everybody. For those of you who don't know, I am Meg, and I am the community manager trainer for Marvelous Designer. Welcome in. The software I'm going to be using is the title of the channel that you're currently watching this on. And I'm just going to be using Marvelous Designer only. So if you ask me what it is, I'm going to point at all of the options that you could have seen. In the bios and in the links on Twitch, we do have all the links to resources, to the websites, and a link to our Discord channel. So a lot of the Discord channel is where we kind of talk about what we're going to make for this stream and for next stream, and just discuss those kinds of things, as well as you can share your work and get assistance. For those of you here on YouTube, a lot of you will ask questions and try to get support on YouTube, and we can't really support you because we can't see anything as well on YouTube. So I do recommend going to our website, using the forum there, or just going onto the Discord channel and then, you know, sharing your issues there. But if you're encountering actual technical difficulties with your account, please, or your software, and you think it's a bug, please do go to the link that is available to you below this video. That is for the support tickets or technical support. It's basically the contact us link, and it'll be a little bit faster for you to get support that way. So today we are going to be finishing up the gambeson. So I'm going to swap over to main. All right, here we go. So we have our beautiful quilted outfit here. Okay, so I was looking at gambesons. Where's my pictures? And we'll probably do some leather attachments, but also I might chop up a gambeson. So we've got something like this to chop up, maybe, depending on the fit. So we're going to play around with that a little bit. Because I do like him having a collar. And also, I've returned this to its previous state. So I am going to go ahead and undo some of the sewing with the B hotkey here. Making sure to not move the bar, but actually shorten the sewing. Excuse me, cord. I don't need you. Thank you. B. So I'm fixing this because we want to... I just need to grab that, not... Thank you. I'm grabbing the node and not the actual, or the segment point, and not the whole segment line, because as you saw, I was moving the line around, and that can cause problems because you're moving the entire sewing relationship and not the actual just straight shortening that line. Okay, so because there's pressure here, and I need to turn off that. These are also 20 particle distance, so it's causing this little peak here. I do want to just fix this a little bit. I also... Honestly, I do want to make this a little bit longer, too. So I'm going to grab all of the hems. And they're all symmetrically, they're all linked right now, so because they're layer cloned over, that layer clone is applying to all of these. Eventually, I'm not going to want that, but for now, I do. Holding shift, come here. Oh, I think it'll actually still apply to all of them. Right click, extend and trim to pattern outline. And it's applying to all of them. So a little bit longer. And we'll give that a second. And I'll actually let it simulate. So the upper layer currently has a value of 1 and the lower layer currently has a value of 0, so it is forcing it to pop up. So I am currently working with layer values. It does help. There we go. So I kind of want to cut the gambeson just straight across, but it almost doesn't make much of a difference. If I did, because we kind of are still wanting to do some sort of sash if we're going to do that. Just around his waist. Because this whole concept is this is a stolen gambeson here. Why is this cattywampus? Free sewing. And I'll have a different type of closure here as well. So for this one, so right now it doesn't look as quilted as we would want it to, just because, oh, why am I so weirdly in the middle? Camera settings, webcam properties, pan. Move me to the side, thank you. Just because we're still working at 20 particle distance. So, let's see what happens now that I've done that. B, only the back, not the circumference stitch. I still am dedicated, and I have this hope in my heart for that back piece. Okay, that's actually not bad. It was fitting way worse before, so I'm not gonna hate that. So since we're here, this pretty much is the design for this. I do want to start stealing some design aspects from a different class for this gambeson. So I'll either do some frog closures here on the front and start doing mixed textures, or let's see, or buttons. Let's just start looking at some stuff here. So what I want to do is remove linked editing here. Make this just slightly, actually just slightly larger. And freeze this portion so I can get some quilting. Turn on higher textures. So because I made it slightly larger, you can see I have more puff and more wrinkles here, which is great. It is causing it to warp, though. That is the one thing about it. Which is fine. And you're seeing these collision issues with the underarm. That is because the material is still at 20 particle distance. So I can make all of this, we'll do 15, because I don't want to work on it too much. I have a lot more to add, and I don't want to have to deal with that. He has other clothes, obviously, as those of you who are returning might remember. But we do want to work with these separately. Where is the stitching? Just to speed up our workflow. So I was thinking about doing some button rivets in the middle here. Let's see. Oh, I do also want to deal with this collar for a second. We'll make it slightly larger. And we'll make it 10. There we go. This is also fabric 1, so let's go ahead and add. I'm going to refresh this, and then I'm going to add probably the cotton, because this was going to be a cotton. Historically, it's a natural weave, so fabric. Cotton. Give me text here. Let's see. Oh, that'd be great if I would stop simulating. Okay. Drag and drop, and now I can just do apply that, change the color of this cotton twill to the fabric one, because fabric will simulate very differently, as you can see. We'll just give that a second. It is bowing just because I have made it slightly larger. And that's honestly fine. I'm going to put a tie around his waist anyway, so we'll probably want to do that soon, but not right now. Actually, in fact, I do want to do one more thing. Most of these edges probably would be fixed if I did. Binding on the bottom, so that's what I'm going to do. Transfer it 50 millimeters to be shorter. Okay. I'm going to apply a trim on the bottom, and that might help stabilize this. These are no longer linked, so you're going to need to do... Oh, actually, I'm going to do this first. You're going to need to do each set together, but apply symmetrical linking. It would help to just apply them to their respective pieces. Apply symmetrical linking. Apply symmetrical... 1, 2, 3, 4. Right click. Don't click the segment points. Make sure to click your segment lines. Offset pattern outline. I don't want the whole thing. Okay, there we go. $50, because that's the amount that I just cut. Default. Perpendicular. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, wait. Give me an internal line, please. Create internal line. Yes, thank you. Let's see. And now I'm just sewing it together. And hopefully that'll actually do it. I might be missing something, but we'll see. I was. Those side seams. There we go. Make sure to check all your seams. Let's see. That should be fine. Yeah. That'll help us a little bit with the shape here. In fact, I'm going to cut this. Cut and sew. So I don't want that seam on that side, So to do that, I'm cutting and sewing it, and then I'm going to merge these together. Using the B hotkey, I'm merging. No. Come here, you. Merge. I want to specifically merge across that one line so that I remove that sewing relationship and it'll be a bit of a smoother pucker or a smoother piece, but it does cause this to happen. There we go. And then I have to do the same to this piece. Now the only reason I'm doing this is because I didn't plan this ahead, which is why I'm having to do it this way. Okay. Sew them together. Merge, and then that'll help that hem hopefully be a little bit more square. And hold our shape just a little bit better. Because just like a quilt, you can bind the edges. And then, just to make sure I'm not missing anything, I am going to make sure that these sew together. There we go. Okay. Well, it's a little bit better. But I'll still take it. Because usually you're going to bind the hem of these things. It's a little wide. Oh, Lord. No. Height is now 25. Come here. I'm right-clicking when I'm doing this. I'm making sure they're not bound. 25. Unlock. 25. So I'm making it just slightly shorter. There we go. It's a little bit better. That looks more like the binding. Okay, so I did want to throw some little like leather armor here, but let's make this like pretty first and then we'll keep going, because I'm thinking this is stolen from like a knight or something, and then he's just kind of running around with it and he's had some patches. And then we'll have to decide on the closure as well. But first, I think I don't want to put buttons in the scene yet, because the more things you put in the scene, the more the more it's going to take to calculate and to simulate. Ooh. Goodbye. But let's just throw something on the shoulder. I think just right here. Hello, Fredo. Let's see. Draw. So he's just adding these things to it, basically. So let's do line pattern tool. And I'm just going to draw. Honestly, he'd probably just do a square. Our guy. He's not perfect. He's not the best at this. Convert to internal shape. clone as pattern. We're gonna throw some leather in here. Because he's not gonna be the best at this, you know? And we're going to leave this imperfect as well. But first thing we got to do is, come here. Offset as internal line, 5 millimeters, yes. Offset as internal line. Am I blind? There it is. Making sure my notches are going the same direction. And then I hit simulate. Don't hit simulate. Okay. Superimpose over. And make sure your layer is either the same layer as the top layer or another higher layer. And we're not going to do that color. We're definitely going to do like a colder brown. And I'm going to make the texture much larger. There we go. He's not the best at this stuff. That's what my brain is saying. He's not the best. He's trying. He just wants some armor on his arm from this gambeson that he stole from somebody else. Oh, let's turn on thick textured surface so we can actually see. There you go. Because you saw it wasn't actually touching, the fabrics weren't actually touching each other, because they did do superimpose over, but it wasn't actually on top of it yet. So he's not the best at this. We're also going to have a couple patches. I feel like we want to have a patch, because we're character building basically right now. He, like, trying to think if he's gotten backstabbed or if he's gotten like sliced across the gambeson somewhere, or if he's gotten like stabbed in the stomach. He is a rogue, but he's not the best. He's more like a thief. But you know, he thinks he's great. He's like, he stole this gambeson. He's had it for a while. Trying to think. We'll put a stomach. We'll put a little patch, like on the side here. Again, he's not the best at sewing. Where he would have like a stab wound. It's only going to be there, and it's also most likely not going to be seen. But I'll make this more angled. Oops, don't do that. Okay. Again, clone as pattern. Offsets. Internal line. Continuing to do the 5 millimeter. Making sure they match. Okay. He's still going to have some sort of like sash or belt on him, but I do want to have at least a little bit more storytelling here. Where is it? Superimpose over. Oop. Layer 2. And this isn't going to be perfect just because we can then do this kind of a thing. What do I want? Do I want to do... You have a couple ways to do this. I can just do a bunch of little rectangles. This is where it's going to start slowing everything down. Because you can engineer exactly how you want, where you want your stitching to be, if you want it to be like a thick yarn. Can I please just have this little guy that I just put... Come on. So we're going to do that. And do the exact same thing. Clone as pattern. Setting it over to the side. And I'm just going to segment sew these on just to see how we like it. I'm just doing flat ones here because he might have been just using like leather lacing, let's just say. Because you could do other like tubes, but you'd want to have a round sewing relationship for that. Almost there. And then all of these need to be much smaller. So this is going to be 5 particle distance, and the layer value is going to be 3. And then wherever they are, superimpose over again. And I'm going to make them probably smaller, but I just want to see. No worries, Rosemary. I'm just messing around with like patch ideas for our guy here. Oh. Well, fiddlesticks. I very much forgot. Lock pattern outlines. Make into clone as pattern. I could have done all of that. As you can see, I'm still figuring out what shape we want for some like stuff here. Because I forgot. I'm sewing through this thing. This is also a good example of why it is best to do all of your design lines first. Because I forgot. Okay. And unlock pattern outlines, B. So right now I'm just sewing on this patch here. So I've decided to make some patches of like where he's tried to do a patch job and he's not done a very good patch job with leather and like shoelacing. So we're going to fix the texture for part of this. And that should fix it. There it goes. And then I'm just going to delete this guy. So I've got like a little patch here where like I'm saying he got stabbed in the stomach. And he's not that great at patching. And he only had like lacing. So I do need to fix this though. Copy. Select. Place. How wide is this? 3.3? Make it 2. Because he doesn't have the best, he doesn't do the best patchwork. Oops, not that much. Let's see. Looking a little bit better. Rotate y-axis. Oh gosh. I'm just rotating all of these just to make it a little bit easier to sort them out here. Okay. And now all of these are going to get shorter. Select. So it's taut. And then also I don't want... all these leather pieces need to not have... no curved side geometry. Nice and square. So in my mind, he's basically just like has this patch that he's having to deal with. And he's like, all right, I patched it. I sewed it on. I do want to see either just remove that and let's see how this looks. If we could stop, okay. If we can stop simulating, that'd be super. I'm gonna put another one here. Oops. Clone this pattern. Throw it over with the others. Make you short. M for the hotkey. And then select it, zoom out, superimpose over, and then also make it 5 particle distance. So now this patch is it's there. He doesn't do a very good job of it though. So we've got our patch that would technically be hiding a hole, but I'm not going to cut a hole. We've got our cool armor that he thinks is awesome. That's a patch on here again. Let's see. We don't have... Do we want to give him trim on the sleeves? We'll do a different type of trim. So right now I'm just giving him some random trim, and then we'll probably throw some frogs in the center front here, and then we'll probably call it good. And we'll start then working on the other pieces. So internal shape. I just wanted to see. I want to see how this looks. Let's see. I for trace. Trace's pattern. Can I make all of these a pattern, please? Fine. One, two, three, four, five. Right? How many we got? One, two, three. Oh, so we got six. Six, okay. Got six of this. So I'm giving him some leather trim just so we get some more color in this, because this might be what is left on him. He'd probably have a cloak, but in this case it's like a stolen, probably guard's item, so he would... So this would probably be there. Superimpose over, and before I simulate, I need to make sure this is a higher value. And simulate. I don't hate it. But I think this should be... I want a different shape out of this because it's not fitting in with his patches, or it's fitting in too well with his patches. So let's do a, like just a point here. Splits, uniform split, okay. And then the reason I've deleted all of that and I'm just working on the single is because then I can just clone this as an internal shape. Oops. Clone as internal shape, place it on, and then I can do the same thing here. Copy, paste, and then while I'm pasting, I'm holding Shift and then right-clicking. I want to do this while I can see the whole piece. And then I can see how many I can get in. We'll do 6, and then we'll increase the distance. Okay. And because they're all shapes now, clone as pattern, now I can do that. And then using the free sewing tool, I'm going to start with one of the internal line points, and I can just sew them onto each other again, and we'll see how this looks. select all, not all that. Come here. Superimpose over. Layer 3. F to focus. Not that close. And then simulate. I think that's a little bit better, but we can throw some like little rivets there. And then I might also just change the color of this, but that's going to be later. So it's more mismatched. Control C, Control D to make a symmetrically linked pieces. Again, superimpose over. I'm going to make a copy of this one. And I'm going to make this gray. I need to make this not match. I need to make it not match the actual rest of this piece. Okay, so we're gonna stick with the warmer gray, the warmer brown for the original design, and then his weird little patches are gonna be like things he already has. I'm actually gonna make another copy, and then make this one like I don't want that. Okay, and I'm gonna make his like a shoelace leather. Come here. Me knowing this might just get hidden. It's fine. Oh, there is one more thing I want to do. Almost there. All right, now it'll actually stay in place. A little bit better. Where are we? Where are you sewing to? That is the one issue with the additional collision thickness. I'll turn that part off. Or additional rendering thickness. Right, there we go. Because I made them pretty small. There's this awesome, beautiful patch. And I'm also just going to make it more imperfect just because I was working with those curves. Excuse me. Works on super tiny patch that might just actually be hidden. It's fine. Okay. Looks a little bit better. Like a little bit less perfect. Okay, coming back to this piece. Because now his stuff you can see is the weirder, darker leathers. So for all of these, let's just throw some buttons on them. And I guess I'm going to do... duplicate two symmetric patterns, so I have buttons on all the sides. And so then I'm going to go to my button, pop that out. Come here. Why do I have two buttons? Oh. Fabric. Okay. Button. So obviously we don't want buttons on this, so I'm going to change the default button. Ew. Maybe we'll do that shape. Let's see. Width, no. Hello, welcome in. Color, we'll do a gray, but instead of fabric matte, we're gonna do metal. So we could do that, or we could do the round rivets. Maybe not that. No, not that one. That's really funny. Let's see. And we'll go with round rivets. There's a reason why they're not actually sewn on properly yet. It'd be super cool if I could not just have the button tool selected. I swear, okay. Thank you. I'm okay with that. He's got his patch there. I can also move the patch, so let's go ahead and give him that sash. Oh no, we should give him his frog closures first. Yeah, we'll do more of the same shape here. A little bit larger. We'll probably stick with leather. Actually, I'm just going to do that. Fabric. Funky shape. Me literally trying to make it as imperfect as I can, but it's pissing me off, so I'm not going to be making it imperfect. I can't. I try. Oh, come here. Splitting this and deleting this piece. So I'm making this into a frog here. So align, middle, oops, not middle. Center. And then I'm gonna do offset pattern outline. Sure, we'll do 500. Let's see. Layer clone over. Yes, it would be layer clone over, just like Rosemary said. Yes, you do. As you can see here with the new shirt layer, I have 2 of this gambeson layer to get the quilted look. If you watch our previous stream, I do exactly that. It's in the latter half though. Let's see. How many of these do we want? Clone as internal shape. We'll do 2. And I'm going to be sewing these imperfect frogs over it. Come here. Move them up. Control C, Control C, Control R for a reflective paste. And so one side isn't actually going to be like this. This side's going to need to probably have some fold over. So I'm making room to have a belt there, a little, or a buckle of some sort, or a D-ring. And again, I'm going to be sewing that in place. The reason I did not symmetrically link them is that they are different shapes, and if I had done that, it would have affected the shape of the other piece. Just because of how I'm working specifically. And this is not exactly on the edge. I am hoping for it to look really kind of off, just because it will be imperfect. Button. Yes, they are also imperfect again. I really hate it. Makes them imperfect. I hate that they're not the same. All right. Again, superimpose over. Give that a minute because I also just put a whole bunch of buttons in the scene. And there those buttons are. Those buttons are going to be angry. So I'm selecting the button with the select button tool, because I'm going to basically do that exact same thing. Reset 3D position. So now you can see that those buttons are there. Why are the buttons gold, I guess? Make sure that's not gold. I'm going to remove all layer values, turn off the button tool. And then give that a minute. This one will be the top layer though. I want those to pop out. Oh, I guess this one too. Layer 1. And also I know you're angry, but it's okay. Fold angle. Zero. And in this case, I do, to make it a little bit easier on me. Come here. I am removing that sewing relationship at the center front. I'll probably add another one there, but I do want to just get this sorted. Hello. Okay. And all of these are going to become 5 particle distance, at least for now while I'm working. This will probably become less wide, but I do want to just get this sorted first. Okay. Offset as internal line. Reverse direction. We'll make it 10. Okay. So here's how I'm going to be cheating this. I do eventually want to use buckles, but I do not want to have buckles in the scene right now because I can't simulate them. So I'm sewing this directly to that top edge. Because then I can just I can just basically use this to account for how the buckles will be holding everything into place. Basically, this needs to become a higher layer value, so this one's going to be 3. Come on. Because now I can see basically how it'll end up fitting with the gap here. One hour time left. I know it just takes so much time with the details always, the devil's in the details. Okay, anyway. Come here, you. One more. Again, superimpose over. I lose the buttons, so I have to select my buttons. Reset 3D position. Okay. Oh, so we've got some sort of closure for this gambeson. And his awesome little patch there. He thinks it's really cool. Obviously. He doesn't. It's not that cool, bud. Okay, so stop simulating file. Save project, because this is my gambeson file. I do want to see how this is looking with the rest of the pieces. So file, open. I don't want to do that. File, open project. View, large icons. This might end up with a part 3, and I might just do it next week. Open all of it. Because I just saved this. I want him to have a long sleeves really fast, so holding shift, I'm grabbing that. Ooh, not that long. Give our boy some poet sleeves real fast. Show arrangement points. Offset as internal line, 20. Okay. Going with the lazy method. Where's my elastic? Extend pattern outline. Might do something else with the shirt, but for now, this is what we're going to have. And for all of this, I'm going to move it. And then weft and warp 80%. Don't know why it's fitting so funny on him. Import file, add. I'm going to do file, add, project, gambeson, open. Make sure to not add my avatar. They're all in the same pose. No. Move that. Don't like that it wouldn't let me do that. Okay, come here. Make all that layer 3. And then make it a nightmare. Tuck that awesome shirt in. So we can see how we like it. Because I might give him something on his elbows. Hello, welcome in. So we're letting it simulate for a minute because I'm now doing all the layering and seeing how it'll end up looking. I do want to change the sleeves, but at least he has a shirt on right now. I'm probably going to tuck the shirt in, and I might put something underneath. Like another sort of tunic of some sort. You know, I might just change this piece into a tunic. A little bit longer and have the split. Let's see. Give that a second. Oh. Why does it do that? Simulate. Figure yourself out. I'd like something asymmetrical though, so we'll see. Because now it just kind of looks a little silly. I think instead of that, I'm going to give him something going this way underneath. Control J, Shift Q to hide all of that and deactivate it. This is still a baldric. Maybe. I was going to do another piece. See, I like the idea of a baldric for the torso, but I want to have something underneath the garment. And I was thinking about another just quilted, like gambeson skirt. Because he's kind of like a hodgepodge of a bunch of them. A bunch of stuff he's basically stolen from other people. Because I like the idea of the baldric. But I want that over the gambeson. I'll just give him his sash underneath. Or let's just do, let's see. Just for the sake of this. What if we just tuck in the shirt? Oh God. All right, we'll try that again. And then this gets frozen. Oops. And we'll make his pants match that leather patch. Fabric. And honestly, I'm just going to cheat this. I don't like using the steam tool because it doesn't actually affect the material correctly or texture, but for now. It will make it bigger. At the knee, at least. I want a belt or of some sort here too. Because I'd like a baldric going over this. Because I'd like him to have also access to the items in it. Trying to see here. What if this was a darker linen of some sort? Because this is on top. I'm probably just going to do another set that covers here and goes diagonally. It'll be a little bit faster. So I'm going to Control J, Control Q or Shift Q. This is still too small on him right now. I've specifically done that so I can keep the layering accurate. We'll do another fast thing. Rectangle. A quick belt. And I'm going to have it go this way. Where are we at? Okay, there you are. Turn on arrangement points. Throw that on him. Far too large. And actually make sure everything's frozen. Let's see. I'm gonna do slash and spread, and then I'm just gonna grab that and hinge it. Convert to curve points, and same with these ones. Fix that curve a little bit. And I'll make this a different color, like green or something. Superimpose side. Sometimes superimpose works, sometimes it does not. Okay, you don't even do that. It's like now I want to have more time for a ball trick, but I don't have enough time. Make this one pretty short. Actually, this should just be a square, huh? Listen here, you. I know there might be a lot in the scene, but stop complaining to me. Stop complaining about it. Do I look like I care? Yes, I care. Come on. Alright, we're gonna play this game. Delete curve points, delete curve points. Asymmetrical. Haha. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Is it being hidden most of the way? Yes. So I'll take it. Because then we can maybe get to the ball trick. I might have to do another stream. So for those of you who are asking about the quilted jacket, this is exactly what I'm doing. So I'm doing my design lines first. Offset as internal line. Actually, not that one. Because they should be parallel, offset as along a curve. So I can just do that. We'll make this fully square. But I'm going to do this one along a curve. So this one's actually going to give me a little bit of a curve to match. Okay. And now that I've done that, I can do layer clone over. So layer clone over, just so I know that this upper layer is the top layer. That gets 10 pressure. That gets negative 10 pressure. And then these guys can become 10 particle distance. I probably will make this maybe like a weird green because he's a funky guy. Oh, that's why. Give that a minute. sort yourselves out. Go on top. Superimpose over. There you go. And then remove linked editing. Make the top row slightly larger. Yes, for those of you watching, what Rosemary said is to let it run the simulation. It's still having to solve itself, but this top layer is a higher layer value than this lower one, which is a good example. And you can help it along the way with strengthening and with superimpose over. And just by pulling at it. And there we go. And pull that out of his shoe. Okay, and then the problem I'm about to cause, Shift Q, Control H. Do I want to cause a problem today? Okay, we're going to cause a problem. Except for these pieces. And I'm going to freeze that belt. Speaking of letting it solve itself. And this is quite slow, specifically because I have a whole, like the whole thing isn't going on in the scene. I normally don't like to work this way. But this is, hopefully I can get really close to being done with this stream and not have a third one. Yes, and as Rosemary said, I am doing a bunch of different layers with this. So I know that those shoes are at layer 10. So I made the gambeson itself at layer 9. And I know that the skirt's at layer like 5. Or the skirt. Whatever this is at layer 5. So I'm going to have to reset all these layers in a minute. Just so I can keep track. And I'm going to be putting some belts on here. I do believe. Because I don't have a design. I did not have a design ahead of time, as you guys, as those of you returning know. Because normally at least I have something that's a coherent concept, but we've just been building up our little rogue here who just really likes to steal other people's things and make them part of his outfits. And that's fine. This is the back piece of that. It's not a good design, but he steals people's stuff, so he doesn't really care. All right. I did want to do... something here, so let's just give it a try. Well, there's a lot going on. Oh, let's not simulate while we try this. As you can see, the more and more I put in the scene, the more and more slow it's becoming. Which is why I normally like to work with my separate pieces. Oh yes, and while we're here, make everything layer 0, except for the shoes, because I need to make sure that those shoes stay on layer like 10. Turning off the arrangement points again. Yes. Oh, I should save, shouldn't I? Save your project. Alright, before I do anything else. File. Save as project. Make this layer 1. Because now I've removed all the layers except for the shoes, and then so this should pop up on top of everything else. I'm going to redo the arrangement points, give it more space, and then give it another go. Because I do want to pull it in at the waist a little bit. He doesn't have much shaping. We'll either use belts to do that, or I'm still married to the sash idea. So to get the sash in place, I think I'm going to go ahead and... I could draw on it on the avatar, or on the pattern, but right now I'm just going to do internal lines that are basically in line with it. And then offsets, sure, 50. So remembering that my center's in the back here, I just want to get it in place before I do anything else. So knowing how it's wrapped around, it is, I believe, like this. Make sure there's no crisscrossing. Okay. It's still frozen, so that's also why I'm letting this happen. There should be a gap here on it, so I do want to make sure I know where that is. Okay. B. Give it a little space in the front. But because I don't have a plan, you are seeing me figure this out. Okay. So the things that will be affected and need to be moved are these pieces. And the hem. And then those. The rest of this doesn't need it to simulate right now. Obviously I can move this, so we're gonna probably end up doing that. Whoa. And this is gonna pull the front closed. I probably am gonna end up, yeah, making this higher. I will be removing this seam line in the center. But at the very least, I'd like to get the sash at least on. Or at least the beginning of the sash. This should not have a layer value. Okay, it's just gonna pop up. There it goes. Make this a little bit thinner. And tighter. While I can get away with it. I do want to just move this up again. I'm trying to at least give him a little bit of a closer silhouette, even with the all of this bulk. Yeah, so right now we only have the 15 minutes left. I might just do a whole bunch of detail work in the next stream and try to get more detail on him. Let's turn on the rest of this. Turn on the shirt. Also make it 100 because it'll affect a little bit of the fit here. Because the sleeves aren't even done. And I wanted to give him some hand wrappings too. Or gloves. It's a little angry, so we're going to help it along here. Make this layer 3. This one is layer, I'll make that layer 4. Help send some of that back. Superimpose over. This is layer 3, so I'm going to make this layer 4 again. Layer 4. Hopefully help that back along. Superimpose, oh. Superimpose under. Where is that button? Reset. Okay. I'm gonna make this less cohesive. Where is this? Linen. Copy. It's gonna be a green. I'll make it a dark green, but you know, it's not his. And let's see. And I did want to apply buttons again. Buttons. On the gambeson. Which all of these buttons are going to make it simulate much slower. Which is why you do all this last. You're kidding me. I don't want to do that. Default button. Duplicate to symmetric pattern. Copy. Select all of those buttons. Apply the copy. Make this much smaller. and saving. I'll make that 7. We'll deal with the button layering later. Just going to deactivate that button for now. Turning off simulation. So here's where we're at right now. I'd like to either roll up his sleeves, and this is, yes, yes, Rosemary, definitely is. I'd like to roll up his sleeves, but I have a feeling I might have to do that later. Also, this is why you don't simulate everything all at once. Like, together. While you're building it. He's angry. Superimpose under. I also don't want this. Why? Okay. Make it a little cohesive. This one I wanted to have be a contrast of some sort. Probably red. Like a dull red. Silk. I'm gonna think he stole it from like some rich merchant guy. Okay, silk charmeuse. No. Maybe I can find a print if I do. Because when it's silk charmeuse, it's much more stretchy. 5. Because I'll probably do a couple rows. I'm gonna have to do another one. I never have enough time to actually do like a lot of details. There it goes. Because I'd like to have it be like a scarf that he stole. A scarf stole. That's what a scarf. Anyway. Fabric jokes. Let me do that. Ooh, it's angry. Control H to give it to strengthen, so it'll also hopefully pop back up. And again, this is also kind of why you don't want to do, if you can avoid it, do as many things as you can as separate projects instead of doing all of them in one. I'm just causing problems now. Because I still want to give him the baldric too, and like more belts. And this, kids, is why you do all of this stuff later and you have a design ahead of time. Otherwise, you'll do things like this. Come here, you. You're going to take the linen. Superimpose over. And this is also why it's really nice to have that sewing line. Maybe I won't do charmeuse. Maybe I'll do... We'll copy a linen. Copy. We'll give it the same color. I might just find another fabric too. And then how much do I want to cheat? I want wrinkles, so I'm gonna cheat and just give myself two of these, or two of these. Some of this. So I'm actually gonna do pleating here. Pleat folds and accordion. And then just to start it, get me to that and give it elastic. And hit simulate. Give that a minute. There's a lot that this is affecting, so that's why it's happening. I would have been smarter to have not done it that way. See, I didn't want his little stabby patch to get hidden. Spent so much time on that. Come here, you. And as you can see, it's very slow because I'm doing things that I wouldn't recommend. What I should have done was I should have done this over the gambeson probably before I put it on, but I wanted to see it. Yeah, loosening it up will help. I do want to see how much I can cheat it though. Because I like the shape it's giving me. That's the thing. Because I can also use this, oops, come here. I can also use this as the base and then make a piece on top of it that's bigger. Two. But here I'll show everyone what Rosemary was recommending. Just make it a little bit larger. But I like that it's giving him at least some shape that's not just a box. Come on. And it's having to settle itself. I lost a layer. Superimpose over. And I'll probably also give this it's called a roll line, so this will actually open up and be more open instead of closed. As well as these wrinkle values aren't very, these elastic aren't actually doing much. 80% doesn't do much. So there we go. My beautiful patch. I think in the next one I'll actually have, I probably will continue this in the next stream so that we can actually get belts and maybe some actual buckles in, which I don't normally get a chance to do. Which I'd really like to actually get a chance to do at least on a stream. And I'll fix we can fix some of this too. I may cheat and do it next week, I'll let you guys know. But I like the red. Let's turn off internal lines. We'll leave this as it is. So we did get all of these pieces in, and we have our little patch where he got stabbed one time in a bar fight. I've decided that's what happened. With his new gambeson that he stole. Because I also want to give him other pieces. Maybe I'll make some knives and bring them in as OBJs. But we will continue this on the next stream, actually. I need to go eat something. But we will continue this, and then we'll actually have buckles, we'll have other accessories, and I hopefully get a more detailed garment than we normally do. I don't normally like to do 3-parters, but we might... It'll either be next week or the week after, depending on how we feel about it. But thank you guys for joining me today on this one, while I threw on a whole bunch of buttons and made a bit of a mess. But I will see you guys on the Discord. Thank you, Rosemary. And for those of you who have come back, thank you. Welcome back. I'll see you guys on the Discord. I might solve this. I might solve some of the problems later, but we have some more things coming your way for YouTube, so be sure to subscribe later because we have updated tutorials that we are also working on. So I'll see you guys on the next stream. Thanks for joining, and I will see you guys hopefully on Discord or on the next one. Bye!